Welcome to this community newspaper Facebook special holiday watch party, Excellence in Education. This is Marta Perez, and our mission is to expose and inspire excellence in education. This is a special Excellence in Education program because we have two very extraordinary guests, extraordinary and famous throughout the world. Not only that, we have prizes and fun. And before I introduce our extremely talented first guest, please notice that here at Community Newspaper, we use all safety precautions. We wear masks when we walk in. We use hand sanitizers. We have our temperature checked and have this great plexiglass shield between speakers. And so please follow us on Facebook and send questions via our chat room. Also, please stay tuned to the end of this broadcast. We have the two very special guests and a big raffle where 7 lucky students and 1 lucky teacher will win rare and exotic prizes. And I mean that. Now, please allow me to introduce one of the most influential figures in modern American education. He is the superintendent of schools for Miami-Dade County and has been since the year 2008. He has received countless national and international awards of the highest orders for transforming every aspect of our district and, most importantly, student achievement. And that is the emphasis of this program, Excellence in Education. If I went on about all the accolades and things that this superintendent has received, the show would be over, and I would still be rattling off things that he's accomplished and major milestones that the district has had based on his leadership. So I'm only going to mention one that is very important and was so impressive at the time, but they're all impressive. He received the Broad Prize, which is like the Nobel Prize in education. He has an incredible career. I will be asking him about how he has done this in the interview. So please welcome Mr. Alberto Carvalho. Welcome, Mr. Superintendent.
Good morning, Dr. Press. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to thank community newspapers also for serving as gracious hosts of this terrific program. And congratulations to you on hosting it.
Thank you very much. I represent the residents of Miami-Dade in telling you how proud and lucky we have been that you have been our superintendent for these years and all of the honors that it has brought this community and how it has improved our community. But, Mr. Carvalho, before I ask you about the future of education, I'd like to ask you the questions that everyone wants to know about Alberto, the man. Tell us, Mr. Superintendent, about your first job.
Well, my first job in America was as a dishwasher in New York City. And I'll tell you, my second round as a bonus opportunity, my second job in America happened to have been as a day laborer in a construction site. So not everything was glamorous. It was dirty. It was hard, but always with the goal, with the dream of pursuing education. This is the nation that provides you with that opportunity, an opportunity that I absolutely seize. And that's where I am. That's why I am who I am today and why I am where I am today.
So when you go to a restaurant, your first job in America was as a dishwasher. Do you think about the dishwasher that's in that restaurant? Does that in any has that experience, has it influenced when you go to restaurants and when you pass by a construction site and you see these workers? What are your thoughts, or are you too concentrated on all the things that you have to do right now?
No, I'm never too concentrated on the big picture to ignore the small, perhaps, but absolutely relevant elements of life. So you're absolutely right. When I'm in a restaurant, I think about the people who work behind the house, in the back of the house. And I often get to meet them. It's not unusual for me to ask to meet the dishwasher or the prep cook. or the bus boy, all jobs that I've done. So I believe it's important to recognize the humanity and dignity in everyone, regardless of social condition or position they hold in life. The same thing happens in construction sites. So yes, it's always there. It's something I will never forget. It's part of my life, and I'm proud of it. I'm not at all ashamed. I actually tell our students that I arrived here poor. I was a dishwasher, but today I'm superintendent, which means that nothing is impossible if you have the right determination and rely on a good education.
How did you happen to come to the United States, Mr. Superintendent? Tell us how you grew up, because a lot of people, they know you, they've seen your picture, but they don't know that actually you, well, tell us. You tell us.
I will turn my 54 years of experience into less than 3 minutes. I was born to a very poor family in Portugal, a family of 6 kids. We grew up in a one-room apartment with no running water or electricity. I was sort of the middle child. I was the first one to complete high school. Both my father and mother had no more than a 3rd grade education. And the day I graduated high school, I felt that staying where I was really a dead ender for me. I would not have the opportunity to continue my studies. My parents were poor. They had neither resources or influence, which was at that time absolutely indispensable for kids to go to college. So I worked for about 8 months. I amassed enough money to buy a trip to the United States of America, much like millions before me. I arrived in New York City, and within 4 hours, I was washing dishes in the kitchens of New York.
So did you have relatives here, Mr.
I did not. I came alone. I was 17 years old.
And did you have friends?
I didn't have friends, but I certainly made friends very quickly when I got here.
Did your parents think, this is crazy, you can't do this, or were they encouraging you?
My father was much more understanding of what my plan was. My mother was heartbroken. She thought when I told her I'll come back in a month, she was absolutely certain that that was not going to be the reality. That in fact, this was a longer term commitment that I was making for myself. But once I got here, times were tough, but the opportunities also opened up.
Mr. Superintendent, what was different in you, you think, than your other siblings? Who are they all there now? Are they still there?
Unfortunately, 2 of my siblings passed away, in part due to poverty and diseases that perhaps in this country would have been fairly curable. But everybody's still there. I brought my father when he was alive, and my mom, who's still alive. I brought him to this country many times. They are both strong lovers of America and the opportunity they brought to me. My youngest brother has visited a number of times. He's now an oral surgeon.
I met him.
The youngest one has succeeded in completing school. And I don't know what's different between me and the rest of them. I think we're all equally talented, much like all of our children, sometimes a matter of opportunity. Maybe you were born at a different time and you have an experience with a teacher, and that was my case. I had teachers as a young boy who absolutely inspired me and absolutely made me believe that tomorrow could be better because of what I did in school that day.
How is schooling different in Portugal than in the United States as far as, the years, etc.? And who tell us about that, though, that teacher or those teachers, and how that happened? We have moments in life. What was that moment with that teacher, Mr. Superintendent?
So I really believe, and I talk about the fact that you cannot teach the child whose heart, you cannot teach the mind whose heart you don't touch. And I remember Miss Natalia, who is my elementary school teacher from 1st through 4th grade. And she was amazing. She was tough.
Was she a young teacher or older?
She certainly was not old, but she was not a brand new teacher either. But she had the right balance of compassion, of understanding. She knew how to reach children, and she certainly knew how to reach me, and it made a difference. The second teacher that really impacted me was in high school. In 10th grade, I had a math teacher who really was influential in my life in decoding advanced math for me, and that has stayed with me. As far as the differences in educational systems, I truly believe that the K-12 environment in Portugal, as is the case in much of Europe, relies on more rigorous curriculum, what we here would call international baccalaureate level.
Mm-hmm.
Then the higher ed process is far stronger in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
than it is in Portugal and most European countries. There's also a significant difference the way students are scheduled. Here, there is a quite rigorous process where every single student starts the school day at the same time. That is not the case in my growing up. We started school at different times, depending on grade levels, depending on even the teachers that you had. So different type of organization. We also had a longer school year and a longer school day. And that was interesting. But look, physical education was important. Arts and music were important, as is the case here in Miami-Dade. So there are commonalities, but there are also some significant differences.
Time is going so fast, Mr. Superintendent. I could go on and on with questions, but I did want to give our viewers a little flavor of who you are, because I know that you get interviewed all the time, but it's always about very important, significant issues surrounding our education and Miami-Dade, and particularly now with the virus and all of those challenges. So just one question about that is more of a personal side.
I'll make it round robin very quickly, so you get them all in.
And then we'll go on into the future, which is where we're all headed. You wear, besides the hat of superintendent, and I know school principal too, you are also two other very important hats that you wear. One is the father to Alexandra and the husband to Maria. Please tell us, you told us a little bit about your family in Portugal. Tell us about your American family.
Well, my American family, beyond the MDCPS family, which is rather large, obviously is my wife Maria, my daughter Alexandra. My daughter Alexandra lives in Atlanta. She has gone back to school, actually, at Georgia State University, because she wants to deliver babies. It's a new passion.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's quite remarkable that at her age now, she has decided to change gears and change tracks and do something that's very meaningful to her. So it seems like we have an affinity for children. My wife, Maria, is in the medical product field and represents a rather large medical company. And we've been married for 18 years.
She's the first lady of Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Well, she's the first lady of the Carvalho household, and hard worker, kind soul who is very dedicated to this community and serves this community in many ways in a very probably not well-known way, but that's the way she likes it.
Yes, I know she's very quiet and very beautiful too, by the way. And okay, another question that I have to ask you: who has taught you the most in life, Mr. Superintendent, and why?
The person who absolutely taught me the most in life was my father, who, despite his third grade education, was remarkably bright, gifted, an artist. He could play an instrument. He could build things. Was an excellent carpenter. He was a poet, and he had a common sense and a strength of character that I hope at some point I fully acquire. Because when I was about 25, 26 years old, even 30, I used to say that I hope that at a time when was half his age. I always felt that he had 2 or 3 times more intelligence, more determination than I would ever have. And he continues to be my solid inspiration. Still to this day, I miss him every day, just like I miss my sister, who passed away every single day. But my father is a strong presence in my life and the source of inspiration.
Thank you. And now, Mr. Superintendent, I hear some noise. I think I'm hearing some noises. Maybe it's our guest that is about to arrive, a very special guest. But before we before we check and see if he's here, how do you see the future of education and technology, particularly after the coronavirus?
I think that's probably one of the most important questions we should not only ask, but be able to answer. Technology is not going to go away. I think the process of at least a hybrid model of education where parents are somewhat in charge of that decision, that's not going to go away, because the pandemic gave parents a very unique front row seat to what's happening in their child's education. The curtain was open and they saw that they could learn, they could connect from a distance, and they could see what teachers were doing, they could see their own child's interaction. So I think moving forward, our educational system across America will pivot significantly, will be more individualized, it will be more child-centric, really understanding what children need. It will rely in part on technology, but it will not ever abandon the personalized attention that a physical teacher will have in the lives of
Yes, sir,
children.
we've certainly seen that.
Yeah,
to
because,
be very important.
You know, what our data is showing, not only here, but across the country, the social isolation driven by this pandemic is leaving a lot of children behind. So we're not there at a point where technology, and it will never be there at a point where technology replaces the warm, sophisticated, professional, loving interaction that a teacher has with children. But it will definitely shift, and I think parents will continue to be important protagonists in making choices for their children, inclusive of hybrid models of education, share time between home and school, in addition to, I think, explosive choice in a number of different arenas.
Very, very. Thank you so much, Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you.
And as I promised, we have another extraordinary guest. He is a person who flies around the world in one night and delivers millions of toys and eats his weight in cookies every year. He is a Superman that children already know. And Dr. Fauci has said that he has innate immunity and won't spread the virus to anyone this Christmas. And we will still have to be taking precautions. So we'll take our precautions because he's about to enter. If you have your mask, Mr. Superintendent. This is, ladies and gentlemen, a first. A Facebook party, excellence in education, a first in coming into this building. The one and only Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho! I'm in the house!
Santa, yes.
This is so exciting, Superintendent. It's always an honor to have you. School board member, it's a pleasure. Listen, I had to sneak in the back door because there's not a lot of room in this place.
Oh,
you
I
cannot
know.
park the sleigh in the front.
Yes, sir. Did you park?
Well, I drove my nephew's cousin's brother's Corvette.
Okay.
The baby blue one.
I
I
see.
sit out there, so nobody really noticed me.
Oh,
There you go.
Santa, how are the elves?
The elves are doing good. We keep them all separated. And we're feeding them different. We're giving them boxed lunches to keep them away from everybody.
Okay.
But they're ready to rock and roll. But other than I'm delivering it, we got Lyft, Uber, American, UPS, American, what else we got? Amazon. Everybody this year is working as one team to make the world a better place.
Santa, are you having to use Zoom?
Oh, I'm so zoomed out. I've gained so much weight because all I'm doing is eating on Zoom. But yes, we're using a lot of Zoom.
Can you tell who's who with the elves when they're wearing face masks?
No, we all look the same. They're working. Never worked harder. They've never worked harder.
What about the reindeers? How are they doing?
Oh, my reindeers, they love me. They're all excited. They're ready to rock and roll.
Any complaints from the reindeer union about having to wear face masks?
No, nope. It's like the UTD. We're all working together and making a better place.
Very good, very good. And Mrs. Claus, how's Mrs. Claus?
I was just gonna call her to see how she's doing. Can Mrs. Claus will she make me dinner? I don't know. Let's see. What else do we got, Mrs. Claus? She's very excited because this year we're going to try to make everybody very happy.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Mrs. Claus? Well, she must be busy.
Oh, well.
Hey, Mrs. Claus, This is Santa, your husband. Do you have dinner? Are you going to make dinner for me tonight, or should I pick up a takeout? Okay.
Takeout. Very
Mrs.
good.
Claus says takeout. All kind of nice place.
Okay. Well, there's always. Do they deliver Uber Eats? Does it deliver in the North Pole?
Yes, they do.
Oh, very good.
There's a lot of good places to eat, so we'll get it delivered.
All right. Well, very good. I'm so glad that you're so thoughtful of Mrs. Claus's time. Now, we have a very important question that we got from some of our kids. They want to know, Santa, this year, how you're going to determine who's naughty and who's nice.
Well, this has been a tough year.
Yes, sir.
And we think that everybody deserves presents this year, especially the public school students. They're working really hard, and it's tough. People want to interact. You guys have done a great job. Students in, students out. So everybody this year is going to get a present.
Oh, my goodness, Santa, what great promise. And hopefully we'll have an absolutely wonderful new year and an even better school year. The rest of the school year will really be better. Now, Santa, we're going to do the raffle for the kids. And I want to thank, first of all, very, 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 very special thanks to Grant Miller, who Santa.
I hear he's an interesting guy.
He's the nicest guy.
He went to Palmetto High School. He went to Palmetto Junior High. He went to Howard Drive, Miami-Dade. He is a public school guy.
And he never says no matter what you ask.
Food, he loves food.
He loves food. And if you ask him, will you do something for the program that's a little unusual? That Grant Miller, man, he's always there.
Well, we try.
Well, thank you very much.
He's always been good. A couple of years, he got cold.
He got cold.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, well, it is.
By the way, it is so hot.
Yes.
I want to go up to New York.
Oh,
it's
dear.
Nice and cool.
Well, you need a little some sort. Do you have air conditioning on the sled?
Not really. But
Okay.
next year maybe we'll do that.
Okay. Well, we want to also thank he's right out there. Jim Moore, thank you so much from United Healthcare. These are our sponsor. Yes. We also want to thank Jeff Kaufman from United Foods, Fit Kids of America, Cigna Health, and Paul Barrios from Cloverleaf Insurance. And so we are going to, here's Santa. Here's your magic hat. So tell us, who is the first winner?
Superintendent, could you read the winner here?
Certainly.
Oh.
And the first winner is from Bentry Elementary, Emily Siles, a fourth grader, and she's getting a large flat screen TV donated by Fit Kids of America. So congratulations, Emily Siles.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Okay, the next one.
I'll read this one. Thank you. Nicholas Corarubia, a fourth grade student from Royal Palm Elementary, won a bike donated by United Food Products, Mr. Jeff Kaufman. Yay.
All right.
Great.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Here you go.
There's so many good. Wow, here's another one, Superintendent.
Thank you, Santa. Next one from Bowman Ash, Doolan K-8 Academy. Molly Castellanos, a fifth grader, and she's winning a laptop donated by United Healthcare. Thank you.
There, you come over and say hello for a second. Okay, sir.
The next one, can you read this one?
Okay, this is Abby Blanco, third grader from Dr. Carlos J. Finley Elementary, won a bicycle donated by United Food Products, Mr. Jeff Kaufman.
Wow.
And here he is, Mr. Moore. Thank you so much for the donation.
Behind here, right here.
Yes, you have that, the winner there, Mr. Superintendent, you have the winner?
Absolutely.
The laptop?
This was Molly Castellanos, from Bowman Ash, Doolan K-8.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Here we go.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
This is a good one. I like it. Can you read this, Superintendent?
I certainly
Where's
can.
it? Where's Everglades? Where's that one?
All right,
18.
Everglades K-8 Center, Annabelle Alfonso, a sixth grader, and she is getting a bicycle
Yeah,
donated by
sweet.
United Food Products again.
All right. Yes.
She's going to ride in style.
Yes, sir. We have 4 donated bicycles. Yes.
Okay, we got right here.
Okay. Another bicycle, one by a high schooler, Miles Moth, a 12th grader at Miami Sunset Senior High. Again, donated by United Food Products, Mr. Jeff Kaufman.
Thank you, United Health. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, this person's a big winner this week.
All right, let's see. Right out of Jane S. Roberts K-8 Center, Javier Salinas, an 8th grader, also winning a laptop computer donated by Cigna.
Thank you, Cigna. Thank you very much. I guess that's all. And now for the teacher's prize. Santa, you can announce that one.
No, I'm going to leave it to you.
Okay. All right. From
Very
John,
festive Santa.
John A. Ferguson, Senior High. This is the department chair and a Spanish teacher, Miss Lady Romeo, and she wins $250 and a gift certificate massage donated by Paul Barrios Cloverleaf Insurance. So thank you so very, very much, Mr. Superintendent. So you look fabulous,
I'm
Santa.
going to sneak out because
Okay.
I got a lot of things to do. Everybody have a happy holidays, and let's go public schools.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Santa.
Thank you, Santa. Happy holidays to everyone. A safe new year. See you in January. On January the 7th, our guest will be Mitch Kaplan. And all the very best. Thank you again, Mr. Superintendent, for all that you've done for our school district. I wish we had an hour and a half to ask you more questions, but unfortunately, time just slips away.
Thank you very much, Dr. Perez. And let me take an opportunity to wish everyone in our community, beginning with our students, our families, our teachers, our entire MDCPS team, the entire school board, Merry Christmas. I know we've gone through Hanukkah, but Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. Let's usher in a 2021 full of opportunity, of kindness, of love. And I have to say, I cannot zoom past 2020 fast enough. And I know that 2021, still with some challenges, is going to be a bright year. For the parents, have your children attend school every single day, whether it is online or in person. We are noticing some significant academic regression as a result of disengaged students. We're doing our part. We have resources. If you need anything, call us, 305-995-3000. And lastly, during this holiday season, throughout the year, no child shall go hungry in Miami-Dade County Public Schools. This is a priority of this board. It's a personal priority of mine. And just yesterday, we distributed in excess of 1 million meals to provide for the students throughout the 2-week break. That's what we do. That's the love and the passion we have for this work and for our children. Let's make the rest of this school year a great year. And let's be respectful, responsible, and restrained in everything we do. And lastly, because it is the holidays, but it's something I think we should always consider, let's be slow to judge and swift to forgive. I think we see too little of that at all levels of our society. So thank you. God bless you all. And thank you, Dr. Perez, once again. Thank you, community newspapers, for extending this invitation to me today.
Thank you. And goodbye.